Welcome to Stitch Quest Chapter 2. If you're new here, my name's April, and on each episode of Stitch Quest, I give you a look into some of the design ideas that I'm trying to decide between as far as creating a new project. Each week, you'll vote in the comment section which design you think I should move forward with, and then I'll go ahead and crochet that design and show you the final project. For the first episode, I ran a random comment picker, and this is the design idea you guys came up with. Now, I did finish the design, so let me show it to you. Isn't this beautiful? This is all made with Lion brand jeans yarn, except for the off-white cream color, which is Lion brand Heartland in the colorway Acadia. This was super fun to work out, and I'm so happy with the way it turned out. The yarn, this is the first time I've worked with the Lion brand jeans yarn, and it's so soft, just right off the skein. So this hasn't been washed yet, but already it's just super soft, and it was amazing to work with. In fact, I loved this design so much, I did go ahead and order additional yarn so I could experiment with additional colorways, just rotating these same colors but in different positions. And I think that's going to be super fun. It's a project for the backlog, but I did already order the yarn. I don't have the pattern for this blanket finished just yet, but I am working on it. In the meantime, head over to the website and sign up for the newsletter to be sure that you're notified when this pattern gets finished and released. It will be a free pattern, and there will be a paid version available as well with additional features. I actually finished this project a couple of weeks ago and delayed getting an episode out because if you watched the original Stitch Quest video, I wanted to do a blanket and an alternate pattern, and I just really couldn't find the motivation to get the alternate pattern done. In the case for week 1, it was a tote, and it's not so much the pattern. I like designing the patterns, but I actually love crocheting blankets, and so to find the motivation to pull out the yarn and start working on a tote bag that really isn't, you know, not even the tote or dog sweater, whatever it is. It's just I really love doing blankets, and I have no problem finding the motivation to do those. So I think at least for the next few episodes, we're just going to focus on blankets, and then hopefully I can be more consistent in getting these videos out to you. So for this episode, the project that I'll be working on is this blanket, and I'll pop another picture of it up. I did run a random YouTube comment picker to decide which pattern to move forward with, and this is the one that picker chose. So thank you so much for everybody who commented, and I can't wait to see how this project turns out. While I work on the second project for the series, I'd love if you guys could help me decide on a project for next week. The theme for next week's designs is CMYK, so I tried to play with the CMYK color palette and just think of some ways that we could utilize some of these gorgeous colors to come up with some blanket ideas. Let's go through the 8 designs that I've come up with, and remember, cast your vote in the comments. Let me know which design you think I should crochet next, and then I will go ahead and use a random comment picker before the next episode of Stitch Quest and let you know which pattern came out to be the winner. So this first pattern, I just experimented with placing colors kind of for a blanket that's worked in the round. And I thought I could use a variety of different stitches for this. I could either do something like a shells blanket and work shells in the round, or experiment with a variety of other stitches, possibly doing a stitch sampler blanket. I don't think I would do a granny stitch for this one. I just did a granny stitch project, so I think this one would really be cool worked up in something a little bit more fun. Blanket number 2, I did design specifically to be worked as a corner to corner in the round blanket. So if this blanket is the one that's chosen, I would be working it up in a corner to corner box stitch that's worked in the round. So I think that would be really fun, and I love the color placement on this one as well. For blanket idea number 3, I wanted to really play with the idea of, again, doing a blanket in the round, but having some abstract type edges off to the side. So this one on the sides, they kind of dip in or go out, and I thought that would be a unique challenge to kind of see what I could come up with as far as how to place those colors while still adhering to the design. So that one I think would be a fun challenge, and that's design number 3. For design number 4, I thought about a stitch that could be done both as an in the round stitch as well as corner to corner. So the initial center part would be worked in the round, and then each side would be worked corner to corner. That might be a fun kind of design to play with. I'm not sure, but that's the idea so far. Designs 5 and 6 are both either going to be corner to corner box stitch or granny stitch. So if you choose design 5 or design 6, let me know which stitch you'd like me to work it up in, and I can do that as well. So again, design 5 is just kind of an abstract where it would probably be worked in panels, the left side and then the right side, depending on which stitch is chosen. And then for design 6, I kind of really went crazy on color placement. So I used a log cabin style pattern for this as my inspiration, but as you can see from the image, it's definitely not a log cabin style blanket. But still, I think it would be fun and it would give a unique pattern. Blanket number 7, I think could be really cool, and I think I would use a variety of different stitches for this. Definitely some variation of granny squares, maybe not the open granny clusters, maybe solid granny squares, but some variation of a granny square for each of the square parts in the center. And then working around the outside edges in a variety of different colors. And I think that there's a lot of stitches that could be used for this. I'm really thinking front post double crochets could be utilized to add some texture and interest and even drop a little bit of the color into each section as you're changing colors. I think this one would be really fun, and it's an interesting choice. And finally, blanket number 8 is again a blanket worked in the round, so I could play with a variety of different stitches. I was thinking about possibly adding some accents in the corner, maybe white in each of the corners. Not 100% sure, but this is the rough color placement idea I had for that blanket as well. So those are the 8 exciting projects that are on the list for the next episode of Stitch Quest. Be sure to leave a comment below what your pick is, and you never know, your comment may be the one chosen to decide which blanket project is next. Now for a little bit of housekeeping. Next up, I'm undecided if we should do fall or Halloween color palettes. So if you can, comment below as well. I may also put up a poll on the community page. Would you like to see a Halloween color palette or a fall color palette? And I think eventually we'll do both. It's really just which one would you like to see first. Again, let me know in the comments, but also keep an eye out on the community tab so that you can cast your vote in the poll as well. Until next time, keep calm and crochet on.